All right, everybody, what is going on? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. We are starting a new month. Today is April 1st, and this year I don't really have a big prank to play. I've done them in the past, and it's been fun, but I think this year is going to be pretty chill. So sorry to anybody who might be disappointed by that. But the Seahawks just won the Super Bowl, so I think there's a little bit less to be sarcastic about right now. But I do want to talk about the month that we just had in April, and I want to talk a little bit about the month that we hope to have going forward. So, you guys know that at the start of every month, I like to make one video kind of talking about the previous month and then the upcoming month. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into that now. Let's talk about March to start. March was a very interesting month. Obviously, you have two things going on in March. You have free agency, which kicks off during the second to third week of March. And that was a big event on this channel for sure. I streamed all day, all 5 days, the first week of free agency. I made a lot of videos every time the Seahawks did something of note. I discussed things at length on stream about the Seahawks, the NFL as a whole, pretty much every move that got made, we discussed in some capacity. And for the most part, things were great. We even had that one day where me and Brandon streamed together. So that was awesome. This is probably my biggest streaming month of the entire year, pretty much every year because of that month of free agency. And the only thing that even comes close will be this upcoming month with the draft. But free agency, I definitely stream more because it's just more time. And that was the main thing that happened during the month overall. And look, early in the week, it was great, right? The first couple days, both the stream that I did on my own and then the stream that I did with Brandon the following day, they frequently had over 1,000 viewers. It was awesome. People were locked in. And then as time went by and it became kind of clear that the Seahawks were going to be playing things kind of, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. They weren't gonna be bad, they weren't gonna do anything that we didn't like necessarily, but they were going to slow play things. Interest dropped off, especially after that first day, 2 days, because the first day was the day where we actually made our bigger swings, re-signing Job, re-signing Shaheed, and then Tuesday, we did, I believe, literally nothing that whole day. So by the time we got to Wednesday, people were starting to lose interest. It was starting to become clear that the team was going to be kinda playing it nice and easy here. Now, I think a lot of Seahawks fans were fine with that. I was fine with it. I think that it's a reasonable idea. I think that it's a reasonable plan. That that doesn't make it exciting, right? And we did end up signing some outside free agents later in the week, guys like Thomas, guys like Wilson, but those guys are not really pulling in a lot of attention. So by the time we got to the end of the week, it was pretty dead. Like, there were definitely moments in that stream where we got around 100 viewers. I don't know if we ever got higher than like 250 on Friday because at that point, people had just kind of realized, oh, we're not really going to do that much. And a lot of the top players were off the market anyway. So it's just the way that it is. This is not a team that is necessarily going to be making big free agency splashes. So sometimes you just end up in a spot where you're all dressed up with nowhere to go. And again, I don't think it was a bad thing the way we did free agency, but by the end, people were definitely checking out. And it was still a great week for me. I still was able to do a lot of videos. I was still able to do a lot of streaming. There was a lot of support. People were very nice. People were very cool about it. There was very little negativity. There was very little toxicity, I felt like. So it was a really fun week of streaming. And the videos that were made from those streams, as well as the videos that accompanied those streams in some places, those were great too. The other big thing that happened in March, and there were some other things as well, of course, but the draft coverage has started. Uh, on and off throughout the month of March, I made videos talking about draft prospects, and I'm most of the way through my draft coverage. I do have a lot more videos to get to until we get through April, but I'm kind of slow playing it because I know I'm going to run out before the draft gets here. and I don't want to get to a place where it's the week before the draft and I don't have anything else to say. So we still have more stuff to get through, but the stuff we've done so far, I mean, this is kind of the perfect storm, right? This is the perfect storm of people are not into this draft. The Seahawks just won the Super Bowl, so they have the worst picks possible. They're picking at the back end of the first 3 rounds. The Seahawks don't have very many picks. They only have 4, and one of them is a 6th-rounder. And number 3, this draft is not very good. It's a weak draft. You put all that stuff together, and when I look at previous years and I look at this year, it's night and day. People are not invested in this draft, and I completely understand why. But you take a look at some of the videos I post, people are not checked in yet, and it's not hard to see why. So I posted a lot of videos, and we did end up getting about 370,000 views in the month of March, which is great. That's awesome. That's, I believe, not, I mean, it's not as good as last March, I believe, but it's still very good. It's still a pretty strong month for the off season. And I do think that it is commiserate with with what is going on right now. But when you compare it to last year, where in March we traded Geno Smith, we traded DK Metcalf, we signed Sam Darnold, we signed DeMarcus Lawrence, we did some pretty significant things. It's definitely not the same. It's not on that level at all. Last year was nonstop, just balls to the wall fascination. This year, there was stuff that happened, but I think people are just kind of now in a place where they're not. Maybe part of it is people aren't as glued to every single move the Seahawks make because they trust the team is going to do the right thing because they just won the Super Bowl. Maybe that's part of it too. But yeah, generally speaking, March, good month, had fun, but people are not into this draft. And that is probably going to be exacerbated in coming weeks because the remaining draft videos that I'm going to make are talking about players at positions where the Seahawks are extremely, and I mean extremely unlikely to draft at. So that may continue on. But yeah, that's March. Thank you, everybody. Picked up like 130 subscribers, most of them during the free agency week. And let's just keep rolling it forward into April. So to talk about April real quick, that's an easy one. We're going to be talking about the draft basically the whole time because that's all that's left. I do think there's some more free agency stuff, but I don't think that's going to happen until May because post-draft free agency changes a little bit and it makes a little bit more sense to try to go after some stuff. But right now, I think that we are probably content with what we have, and we are going to rock forward with the roster we have until it becomes less costly to make those investments. So this month is going to be all about the draft. And there's going to be a couple videos on other topics, of course, but that's really all there is to talk about. And again, I get it. This draft is not very good. Most of the positions that we're interested in, I've already made videos on. And by the way, if you want to go watch those videos, they're still up on the channel. Just go back and look through my draft primer. But I'm hoping that some people can plug in as things get closer and we end up having a really fun April, even if the draft isn't great. All right. So I think that's really about all there is to say. April is a pretty straightforward month. We're up to 21,225 subscribers. Would be nice to try to get that up to like 21,300 by the end of the month. Not too ambitious of a goal because I don't expect April to be some monster month for obvious reasons. But yeah, things are going good on YouTube, man. Twitch, not really a ton going on there. I started The Witcher 3, which I like it a lot so far, but I haven't been able to invest into it yet, necessarily because I've been busy. Back into Dead by Daylight, which has been nice because that's kind of a shallow, light game that I can just get into and start playing and have fun. And I don't have to really feel like I'm super invested. The matches take like 15, 20 minutes. I hadn't played Dead by Daylight in several years, but I played it a ton back in the day. So I am pretty familiar with the mechanics. So that's been a lot of fun. Been playing that with my friend, like Dead by Daylight. So that's been cool. Been streaming that on Twitch and Kick. I am probably going to, in the near future here, make a YouTube channel where I start streaming my game stuff there because Twitch is I don't think Twitch is going in a very good direction, and I got to get back on the YouTube side. That is starting to become the platform for streamers. So that'll happen soon, but I'm not going to do that right now. That was basically what happened in. Oh no, I did Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, which was okay, kind of annoying, but at the same time not unfun. And going forward into April, it's probably going to be a lot of Dead by Daylight. I don't want to get involved in anything more significant than that when I'm trying to talk about um, draft stuff constantly. I just don't have the time for it. But we will be getting back to Witcher 3. We will be getting back to other things as well. Just right now, grinding Dead by Daylight makes the most sense. And that's really about it. So thank you for the great month. A lot of videos in the month of March, a lot of views, and we're going to keep it going. I know that these videos I'm making right now are not really doing well, but I'm going to keep making them, and we're going to keep doing draft stuff because what else is there to do? All right, everyone have a good rest of your day. Go Hawks, and thank you for coming out. I'm going to do some more videos later. I might take a break from the draft eval stuff today and get back to it tomorrow, but see you guys soon.